Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to make a fold-out folio with pockets and a notepad. And I saw this on Sabrina Taylor's YouTube channel, and I thought it looked like a pretty cute little project. So that's what we're going to make today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up and check out my other videos. So I used just a manila colored lighter weight cardstock for my base, and I have notes all over it because some of it I had kind of a hard time following, so some of it I kind of had to just keep going back and figuring it out. But you know, maybe that's just me. Sometimes it's hard to follow what somebody else is doing, I know. But we're going to give it a whirl. So we're going to start out with, we have to cut 2 pieces. And these measure 9 1/4 by 3 5/8. So 2 pieces at 9 1/4 and 3 5/8. And we're going to score at 5 1/2 and 5 5/8. So it would be like this, and you would score them together, or actually it would be like this because of the scoreboard. And you would score at 5 1/2 and 5 5/8. My scoreboard's not lying here right now, otherwise I would just get it up and show you. And then on one of them, we want it with this little side on the right hand side. We want to make a notch in the center because it's going to go like this. So these 2 pieces are going to go together just like this. And this is going to be an underneath pocket. Okay? So this has to be to the right. Your little thumb notch there. So these will go end to end. And then it'll fold up and down. Okay? Then we're going to cut another piece at 10 7/8 by 5 1/4. 10 7/8 by 5 1/4. And then you have to trim this little edge off here. So this actually measures 10 3/4. So I think it's easier just to measure it at 10 3/4. But you can do it either way. If you do the 10 7/8, then you have to trim, and it's just a little tiny bit. And then we're going to score this at 3 5/8 and 7 1/4. Okay? And then this is going to be the tri-fold. This is going to be the inside part of it. So this is how it'll lay out. And I don't know if this will all show on camera or not, but it folds out just like most other, tri-folds or fold-outs that you've seen. So it just lays out like this, okay? Folds over, folds over, folds up, and folds up, okay? Now, I want to, and in the center of this, before I forget, in the center of this part, you're also going to make a thumb notch right there. And then we're just going to have pockets on the rest of these. Okay. Now I want to go ahead and glue this one together. Let's see. this is going to be like this. So we're going to have this back behind. Let me just make sure I'm getting this right here. Okay, we'll just fold that up like that. Now, I inked all of this, but this part here showing, I really didn't care for. So, let me find this piece. And that is not it. Well, I started out with them all in order, and then I kind of, forgot what I was doing. And I just messed the stack up. All right, this is number 8. Now, since this is showing this back here, because this is going to be our pocket. Okay, this is going to be a pocket right here. So I want to just glue this down here in this part because I don't like to see that background showing. So I'm just going to glue this here, and if it makes it too confusing, you don't have to do this. There's a few parts on here that I just added a little piece behind because I didn't want just the background to show. So I'll just kind of center that. And I'm just going to bring it right up to the edge. Or almost to the edge. I'll let my ink show. And let's set this back over here. Now when we put this on, we want to make for sure that we don't go over our score line because we want to fold this easily. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue my mat down. And I'm just going to glue the whole thing because we're only going to have one pocket back here. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone is doing good. Can't believe all of the snow that I seen that New Orleans got. Our weather is something else for sure. We were below 0 last night. Air temperature. Our wind chills were like minus 20 some. That's a little chilly. Okay. We haven't had a very bad winter in quite a while, so we're actually due for some cold weather. All right, now as long as I have my pocket done, I'm just going to go ahead and glue this on back here. And I'm only going to glue 3 sides. Hopefully I'm up on the camera where I belong. So we will check this. And I want to turn it over. Make sure I'm all lined up everywhere, which I'm not. So you just want to make for sure that it's all lined up all the way around. And we have a pocket. Okay. And then fold down like they're supposed to. Let's fold this back out. And we'll turn this over, making sure that this is to our right side. And let's see, turn this sideways so I can see. Now this is going to be down just a little bit from the top. So we're going to want to bring this down around our score line. Let me make sure I'm on the camera. I don't think I was. So we want to make for sure. And when we put this on here, we want to make sure it's all even and everything. So like we would fold these in to make sure it's even, okay? Now this is one of the places where I also wanted to cover this part up. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this back here. There's going to be a little border. But that'll be okay. I just don't want this to show. Because we're going to have two pockets here. So I have to make sure when I glue this, I glue it down right. And I'll just let my my ink show. I cut this off of the bottom of one of my other mats because I didn't have enough paper. That's why that one's rounded and that one is not, but it's not going to show. Yeah, that'll be good. Now when I glue this down, I'm only going to glue the 3 sides and I'm going to fold this in. I have found if I want this glue to come out, I really have to squeeze this bottle. Okay, now I'm going to line it up down here and line it up here. Turn it over and make for sure everything is lined up. And make sure this flap goes up like it's supposed to. I think so far we're doing okay. We have a pocket back here. Now we're going to put this on here. And I'm only going to glue the 3 sides because we're going to have another pocket here. And I'm just leaving a little bit of a border. Make sure we have a pocket here. So we have a pocket there and a pocket back there. So there's 2 pockets. And then on here we're going to add a little notepad, but we'll do that in a little while here. But we're going to have a little notepad right in the center. Okay, now all we have to do now is just add our mats and our pockets. This is one of them that I cut a little bit shorter, so, and it doesn't matter. It'll still be just fine. Once you get everything cut out, now that I'm gluing it together, it's going together pretty fast. But when I was trying to figure it out, some of it took me a little bit. And then I almost forgot the notepad. I was getting ready to do my video, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, we're supposed to have a notepad. So I had to take a minute and do my notepad. And this won't even know the difference because nothing will show. So I'm only going to glue 3 sides here. And hopefully you think that this background paper goes okay with it. Some of this is, the white is like almost grays. It's like almost a bluish gray, and there is blue in this. I couldn't, some of the other ones that I thought about using as backgrounds, I didn't think really went good with it at all. But this is light enough that you can write on this also. Okay. And we have pocket there. And we'll just go ahead and do this one while we're going. I rounded, and also I forgot to say that I rounded all of my outside corners also. So then on these mats, I only rounded the corners where it was rounded, and this one up here that was rounded was off of this corner. So when you make your mats, and you're going to put a pocket over it, you can keep in mind, especially if you're running short on paper, that the mat doesn't have to go all the way down inside the pocket. That's also one way of saving on paper, because nobody's going to see it anyway. And then this will go down here. So I'm going to glue 3 sides. Okay, so we have another pocket here. Now I'll turn this sideways and do this one up here. Now, let me see. Now this one will be the same. I wanted to just put a piece behind here just to cover up the background. Just because I didn't want that to show. Now if you don't care, you can, this one doesn't go like this. This one goes this way. This one goes to the side. Good thing I noticed that this didn't line up, right? If you don't care about this showing, you can ink it. So I can just bring this down here some. So your top flap, the opening goes to the right for your pocket. That's why I made all of my little notes, so I wouldn't forget what I was doing. Because I would have had different pieces where they didn't belong. And again, on that little corner, I did my circle punch. And then this is just going to sit here like this. So you have to remember to make a note. This one goes to the right. I have to bring this one up so I cover up that part right there. So it leaves a little bit more of a gap, but that's okay. Now I'm probably just mumbling to myself, but that's okay. All right, and we have a pocket here. And I'll move this one down here. And this pocket goes to the left. So this one's going to go right here like this. So I used 3 different flower papers on this project. I figured they were flowers and it didn't hurt to mix them up. I think they all go good together. Okay, so the opening for our pocket is to the left. Let me wipe this off. So this is going together pretty fast, and I'm glad for that. Just hopefully you're keeping up with everything that I'm doing. Hopefully I'm not confusing everybody. Now we'll fold this one in and we'll do number 4. So I didn't need any more paper, so I didn't have to cut anything off of here. All right, these are the outside edges, so these ones get rounded. But there you can see the gradation of color. It goes from like a gray down into a real pretty blue. So I figured it all went good. Now, as far as decorating my pockets goes, I didn't do anything for decorating the pockets. Because like trying to figure out the folio and almost forgetting the notebook. I didn't even give decorating the pockets any kind of thought. But you can decorate them. I thought the only thing that probably I would put on them is butterflies. See, I like this paper. And the colors in this paper, this color here actually is what made me pick this, because these are more grays. Now I'm hoping that my camera doesn't shut off, because the other day when I was doing a video, my camera shut off. And I don't know why. but these go real good together. So there's another pocket. Now we'll fold this one over. Let me see. This goes this way. And this one goes here. Love the colors in this paper. They're kind of muted, but they're pretty all at the same time. Something's not lining up. Okay, so this pocket come out a little bit bigger, but we're not going to worry about that, are we? Okay, so there's pocket. Then we have our bottom flap. And we're not putting any pocket on here. This is just our flap. And our top flap. Guess I thought I was doing a pocket. Hopefully this is down far enough. Okay, so now this will close in, this will close in, this closes up, and this closes over. Well, we actually did it. All right, now for my closure, I just did 2 circles. I don't know if this is a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch. It says an inch. So this must be an inch. So I'm going to glue 2 of these together. And then I cut this circle with this pretty little pink flower in the center. Looks like a little daisy. And then in the center of that, I'm going to put this little gem because the center of this flower is yellow. I made sure I laid my fabric tack down so I didn't have to wait for it to run out. Let me hold this for a minute. I'm going to let that dry, and we can go ahead and put our tags in. Now, since this was a folio, I just thought, oh, I have to put my notebook in. So we'll do the notebook first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, there's 10 pieces of paper. So all I did was I rounded my corners. I just stapled it at the top, and I'm just going to glue it on. Let's put a little glue up there and glue it down, and we'll just leave it down a little bit underneath our pocket opening, kind of in the center. And then you can write little notes, put them in your little pockets. Now, since it's a folio, I figured we would just have tags with notes on, or journal cards. So let's turn this over. And I just stamped a little flower in the corner of each one. I just put lined notebook paper on them. Now hopefully this goes in there. I don't want to trim it. Let's see. Gotta make sure we have room. Seeing how I didn't check them for the journal cards. All right, so that slides down in there nicely. Maybe I ought to just go around and check the rest of my pockets. Because, like, we have a half a second. So what does everybody think about the folio? I think it's kind of cute. I like all of the different flower papers. So we have one back here, and we have one in here. So hopefully all of these tags fit, because if they don't, I'm going to have to trim them. Okay. I put my cap or my pin in my glue before it dries up. Okay, so these are for my side pockets. And let me tell you the size of the tags. I made them, if they fit, 3 inches by 4 1/8. I'll take the back one out too and tell you. I'm afraid I'll tear my paper if I push on it too hard. Well, that's just not nice. That one goes in okay. Maybe it's a little smaller. Never can tell. Oh, I know why. This side is a little bit smaller because we cut it narrower. That's why. And I cut the tags the same size. Okay, so there's them. And then my small tags are, and I'll tell you what the back pocket tag is too. 3 inches by 3 1/2. So that'll slide down in there. Why is it sticking out a little bit? Maybe I put too much glue on it. Let me see if this one is any different. I should have tried my tags before I put my paper on, huh? Well, I couldn't. I already had my paper on. And I'm going to have to trim these a little bit because they'll stick out. Getting in there, you can't get it back out now. So what I might do is I might just end up making new tags because I would want them to all look the same. But for right now, we'll trim the bottoms off and see if they fit that way. I don't want to spend too much time on these. Yeah, I'll just have to cut these down. So we know that our tags fit there. All right, our two long tags, these are 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So one will go in here. And here we go again, that's too big. Let's go behind it. Well, now that makes me feel bad. This could almost be embarrassing. Let me round the corners again and see if it'll slide down in there. All right, so I only had to take just a little bit off of that one, but they're still kind of tight. Okay, that one's in. Let's try trimming this one. So how many of you have had problems getting your tags to fit after you get them all matted and everything and looking good, and then, you know, then you can't get them in the pocket? Anybody else? Okay, let's move this stuff all out of the way. And I was so happy because the folio came out nice. All right, let's see if this fits. And if it doesn't, I'll have to make another tag for here also. I'm afraid I'll tear my paper if I push on it too hard. Okay, so that's how the folio works anyway. We have 2 tags for here. I'll have to remake these. I could like cut them down, but I don't want to cut them down. So we would have a tag in each one of these pockets, and 2 tags back here. And then we're going to fold these in, fold this up, and I'm only going to glue just half of the bottom. And then we can pull this out and open this up, and then put it back in there. And I'm going to do that with my Fabri-Tac. Wow, I wasted a lot of time on that, didn't I? It's Sorry about that, everyone. I always try to make sure I cut my tags smaller than what I need. I guess I didn't do a very good job of that today. I'm going to take this out. Let this just sit. So we can go ahead and say that that's my folio for today. Other than the tags not fitting, let me know down in the comments what you think. I think it turned out really cute. I could put a butterfly or something up here, and I might when I get all done. But if you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up and come back and see me for my next one. And until then, everyone, happy crafting. Bye for now. Okay, everybody, I couldn't go off until I finished the pockets. So my little pockets are, I made a note, 3 by 3 1/8. So they're 3 inches wide, 3 1/8 inches long. The center pocket up here is 2 3/4 by 4 7/8. It's 2 and not 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 5/8. Okay, by 4 7/8. So it's a lot narrower than the other one, but it fits in here. So if you make them, you just have to watch. Maybe I put too much glue, I don't know. But I added my little flowers. So they fit down in there perfectly now, like they're supposed to. And I forgot to give you the measurement for the back pocket. So the back pocket is 3 1/4 by 5. Okay. So now we can fold this up because now I'm happy, and we can fold this over. Now I was going to take the time to do a butterfly on it, but I'm not going to because the video is long. So that's my video for today. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and I hope you come back to see me for my next video. Let me know down in the comments what you think. All right, everyone, have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye for now.